Hello everyone, Brett the Comic Novice here, and today I am here to do an unbundling and a discussion regarding the comics that I have ordered from DCBS, my online comic book store, where I'm more apt to try them out than the local comic book store for two reasons. First off, they are a lot cheaper. The average cost per comic is about just a little over $3 for me. And the other thing is, they always show up. Like, I currently have things that might show up for my local comic book store, but because they got lost in the mail, because of FedEx, because of Diamond, because of some other stuff, who knows if I will ever see those things that I pre-ordered. So I know that if I get it through DCBS, I am 100% guaranteed that it will make it to me. So, I mean, here's my statement. There is a total of 39 comics in this bundle, these three packages. And so I'm just going to kind of go through these and basically share my thoughts, what I've read, what I haven't read. And starting us off, I have the Lord of the Jungle, the comic that is done by Dan Jurgens. Now, this is issue number 5. I have not read a single one of them. I am very intrigued to read these. I believe in Dan Jurgens, the writer, and also I believe he might be the artist for some of them. But yeah, I have not read a single one of them, but I just put my faith into creators that I do believe in. Next, I have Radiant Black. This is issue number 24. I read the first 6 issues of Radiant Black and then stopped, but because, each one of these basically cost me about, $2.50 or so, not counting shipping or whatever. It's just easy to just keep on ordering them. And eventually, when I get time, this summer, I might have time to read some stuff. So Radiant Black, this is the Batman Joker, the Deadly Duo. This is the Jock variant cover, which I do like. I think I have the actual other one. Yep. Oh, nope, that's not it. This is the Joker, the man, what is it? The Man Who Stopped Laughing by Matthew Rosenberg. Sadly, I actually did not read the single issue of the James Tynion one, and for some reason, I just decided to pick up the Man Who Stopped Laughing and see what that was like. Again, this is issue number 8, and I've read none of them. I probably should, because the cover price is $5.99. I'm probably paying about $3.50 or something like that for them because of the discount. There is my Adventures of John Kent's Superman, issue number 4. Is this the last issue that I pre-ordered? Or maybe no, this is issue 3. Issue number 4 might be the last one that I pre-ordered, just because with this one, with my review, the art kind of got to me personally a tad bit clunky. And also the story, it's dragging a tad bit, and it feels as though it's set up to just basically more be an Injustice book, crossing over with continuity, which is okay. But I thought the premise of the entirety of the book was for John Kent to go one-to-one with the Superman from Earth 3, the Ultraman. And of course, he was immediately killed rather quickly. Moon Knight. Now, is this a variant cover? Oh no, it's Venom and Moon Knight. Okay, so I started picking up Moon Knight because I wanted to watch the series on Disney Plus, and sadly, after I watched the series, I continued buying this. This is issue 23. I've not read a single issue of Jed MacKay's Moon Knight, but yeah, I've heard great things about it, so I currently have all of them. There is the main issue the main cover for the Batman and Joker, the Deadly Duo, the last one by Mark Silvestri, which is written and drawn by Mark Silvestri. The art just looks fantastic. Have not read any of those either. I'll tell you, this summer I have time, and hopefully maybe I will get certain time to read, maybe even do some videos. Who knows? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do this? I stopped buying Batman from my local comic book store because the cover price, I'm tired of $4.99 cover prices. I'm tired of the backup story that I don't, most of the time I don't want. And so I just decided, you know what? I do want to have the continuous run of Batman, but I don't want to pay the full price. And this is issue number 900, or 135, which was a $7 cover price. And yeah, so I'm also a month behind on those. But hey, finally, Batman has the Dawn of DC header at the very top of his book. So good for him. We have Dark Ride. So this is done by Joshua Williamson, this is a horror book that is basically kind of like what if Disneyland was, form it around devilish creatures, which actually possibly is very more plausible. But, it was located in, I believe it's Las Vegas or whatever. It's a really good story. Josh Williamson, who is kind of like DC Comics' head writer, who is doing the whole Night Terrors thing, which might be good and might not be good. I'm actually going to probably do a video on my thoughts about Night Terrors and what I will and will not be picking up, because at first I was completely out of the whole thing, and then anyway. This one, Kyle Higgins, Ordinary Gods, issue number 12, I think this series has been in limbo for quite some time. I read the first 4 issues, then got the first trade, and then have just been picking up issue by issue, and it's been solicited, resolicited again, and resolicited again, and finally this is the conclusion of the story. I got it because Kyle Higgins was doing the Radiant Black, and I was really into at least the first 6 issues of those. So you know what? Why not back a creator that I believe in? This was I bought this Action Comics 1055 from my local comic book store, and I meant to click on the stupid 30th anniversary version of the cover with the Superboy, the steel and whatnot, and I accidentally clicked on the cover that I already got. By the time I got to my comic book store, they were all out of every single one of them except for the main cover. So now I have 2 of the same one. So bummer in the summer. This, again, I'm tired of Nightwing. I have a long run of Nightwing. And again, this comic is costing me probably about $2.99 or so. I don't like that there's a backup story. I don't like that it's expensive. But you know what? It's more palatable to pay $2.99 from it through DCBS than $5 through my local comic book store. I want to do local stuff. I do. But with the increase in prices of so many things, I just, you know what? I enjoy the hobby of comic collecting and reading and whatnot. And the collecting part is the addiction part for me. I feel as though I have a very addictive personality, and so to stop altogether is super hard for me. So I not digging where Nightwing is going, but I also have a really good run, and to cease said run would just destroy me, possibly. Thor. So I started picking up Thor just a while back, just because I was kind of, when they changed the creators from Donny Cates, who may or may not be coming back to Marvel, to this current one, I was just like, well, let's give it a try, because I did not know what Donny Cates was doing. I did not know what the Thor run was doing, and with that, I just decided, hey, new writer, even though numbers are continuing, maybe it's a good jumping on point. I don't know. Still haven't read a single issue of the Groenbeck Thor run. So who knows? Maybe there's, comment down below. Is there anything that I should be reading and doing a video on using my comic Novice? I buy so much. I should probably do a video of all of the stacks of unread comics that I need to. I have ideas for videos, but I just never get around to doing it. I don't know. Green Arrow issue number 2. I'm very excited for this. And I think I have a second issue. There we are. The second cover of this is the design for the brand new villain for this. of course, they don't put the villain's name on it, but the new villain that is going to be in issue number 2 of Green Arrow. That is her cover right there. So, yeah. And then the last one in that first bundle of 3 is the Supermassive, which is kind of, I don't know, updating you on the Kyle Higgins, Brian Parrott verse. I need to read that. I need to read a lot of stuff. Again, I always put stuff off, and it's always like, that's Tomorrow Brett's problem. He'll get to it. Man, Tomorrow Brett always gets dumped on by yesterday's Brett. It's a thing that I constantly do to myself. We probably do it to ourselves all the time, is just, you know what, I don't want to deal with it today. I'll let Tomorrow Me version. And the Tomorrow Me version is upset at yesterday's Me's version. So, yeah. And I'm rambling. So, anyway. It's not like anybody might be watching this. But, hey, I'm going to do this because I think this is going to be fun. All right, next, I have... not Joker Incorporated, but Batman Incorporated. I wanted to give this the benefit of the doubt, the Batman Incorporated series, because so many people were just hating on the initial idea of it because of Ghostmaker and whatnot. And because when people just overly hate something, I want to actually go hard in and like it more and be able to prove somebody wrong. Of course, I'd have to read the series first to be able to do that. So issue number 8 of... that is a really common thing I will say about this whole unboxing of the comic book run, is not having enough time to read stuff and being so backlogged. But Junkyard Joe, which is part of the Geiger universe, done by... what's his name? Jeff Johns. I have not read a single issue of Junkyard Joe. I did read Geiger, really like Geiger. I hope that this, there's more stuff going on. I have every single Geiger book. Superman Lost. This is $5. I'm sorry, local comic book store. I decided to go with DCBS to save about $2 on that comic right there. Give me a 20 to 30% discount and I will do local comic book store. Batman White Knight Generations Joker. This is book 1. The main reason why I get this is I've seen and read a couple of Sean Gordon Murphy's interviews. I really like him. He seems very genuine and very down to earth. And even though I have all of his books except for the first one, I bought the first White Knight series, I think on a Comixology sale for probably about $2 during Christmas or something like that, and haven't read that either. And I own all the other ones, but because of just who he is, I want to support him just because he just seems like a nice person. I have Stargirl, issue 6 of 6. I need to do a new Golden Age video, because I think DC Comics is, some of the things that they're doing with some of their new Golden Age characters, it just is, I'm thoroughly enjoying. And the fact that in November they had a Golden Age book number 1, and I thoroughly fully support that. Let's take some of these dark, gritty stories, and let's just go super 1950s, 60s cheese and just have fun. How about that? Hey, I got a free comic right here. I did not order this. This is the We Are Legends. I've talked about this book numerous times. It's not in a it's not packaged or in a safe sleeve or whatever. My brain is dead for right now. But they just slipped me this in. This is free. Oh, good, because it does say free. Read. Yeah, it says free. So this is all of the excerpts from Spirit World, City Boy, and The Vigil, all compiled for their free comic, because this is the prelude to the We Are Legends, 6-issue minis for both of those, which I've done a video on every single one of them, because I wasn't actually planning on doing a video on any of them. But when somebody at my local comic book store was complaining about, like, who is this for? Who wanted Spirit World? And this is a guy who read all of Lazarus Planet. This is a guy who, these are the books that he is up for, and he was complaining about those. I needed to, like, get in on this. Oh, this is exciting. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 25. Again, this retail price $7.99. I think I probably paid maybe $4 or something like that. I've not read this, but there is going to be so many things that is going to be coming out regarding the Amazing Spider-Man, just from what I've read and what I see on Twitter. I almost want to not. I've read the first 5 issues of Amazing Spider-Man by was it Jim Wells, Zeb Wells, something Wells, and I didn't think it was that bad. In fact, was not a fan of John Romita Jr.'s art when he was doing Action Comics with Brian Michael Bendis. I thought his art was horrendous. I don't know. For me, it works in The Amazing Spider-Man. Maybe it's because he was a Spider-Man writer or artist for a long period of time. But I think it works compared to what he was doing for DC Comics. But maybe that's just me. And I think I'm going to actually do a video just blindly reviewing issue number 26 because of the mass of backlash, panic, indifference of depending on what you read or whatever. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky. This is issue number 11 of that, and I'm very intrigued to read that. I actually never knew any single thing about Daredevil besides the Ben Affleck movie. Never watched a single episode of the Netflix things until I started, and then I just kind of got bored because it just was him getting crap beat out of him and then lying on a couch for 2 episodes, and it just wore on me. But I started reading Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky for the first run, and I was thoroughly impressed with the character of Daredevil and Matt Murdock, and so I've just been continuing picking that up. I have not read anything post, the 6-issue miniseries that led into the relaunch of a brand new number 1, which, brand new number 1 for Marvel is just, any given day of the week. I like this. This is, I feel dirty for having bought this. This is the Disney 100 celebration. This is not the Avengers. This is actually Spider-Man issue number 25. And this is a, what if the, Mickey Mouse Club were Avengers. So, and I've been picking up all those, covers because I like the covers. And yes, that is not a good reason. I'm just throwing perfectly good money away, probably lighting it on fire, but whatever. And then I have this right here. I'm going to be waiting. I actually have ordered and waiting for the omnibus of the Miracle Man. I'm very intrigued I've picked up all of those so far. So yeah, so that is the second bundle. Bundle 2 of 3, now bundle 3 of 3. And again, each one of these comics, the average price of them for me is, if you take out the $15 shipping, the average price for each one of these comics is about $2, like probably 60 cents or whatever. However, by putting the $15 shipping in, that makes every single comic probably about the average price $3.60 or $3.50 or something like that. So again, all of these I've bought, except for one of them. All of these are below cover price that I've bought. So, and then I have this No/1. This is fantastic. I think this is still part of the Kyle Higgins Massverse. I was not going to pick this one up, and then I did just on a whim, and I am so glad that I've done that. This is a fantastic story. I'm very intrigued by, who this no one is, who they are killing, and what the future holds. And it's a 10-issue series, so unlike Rogue Sun and also the Radiant Black, this one has a beginning and end point, and actually looks interesting. Unlike Radiant Red, even though I do own Radiant Red. Here we go. Here is one of those facsimiles of X-Men #1. This is what the X-Men comics looked like when I was a kid, and I just wanted to pick something up because I was not a comic collector as a kid, because I was already a sci-fi nerd and overweight, and just, couldn't have a third thing stacked against me. Gunslinger Spawn. This is the only comic that is below cover price, I guess minus the free one that I got. I read the first trade paperback of Gunslinger Spawn. I know nothing about Spawn, and I just heard a whole bunch of people just talk about Gunslinger Spawn. So I picked up the trade paperback for, I believe, about $6, and it was fantastic. And I've picked up every single issue of Gunslinger Spawn since then. Wonder Woman 799. I wanted to see how the Wonder Woman series ends. I did on DC Infinite Universe app read the last 4 issues, the last 2 issues of Wonder Woman and the 4-part Lazarus Planet, the, whatever it was that was written by G. Willow Wilson. And I will tell you, that was not bad. Those last 2, 797 and 798 issues of Wonder Woman and the 4-part, maybe it's because it was headed off by G. Willow Wilson and not Clunan and Conrad, because I don't think that they could write to themselves out of a metaphorical prison or house. Let's see, Miles Morales. All right, so this one, I'm annoyed by this one because I was reading Miles Morales. I've been getting ready to do a Miles Morales video on the first 5 issues of Miles Morales Spider-Man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do have some questions about certain things, but then they immediately just tie Miles Morales into this Carnage Reign events, which again, what I'm really tired of is the Alpha issue, the Omega issue, and then because everything cannot be contained in both the Alpha and the Omega issue and all the other, 7 parts or whatever of this, we also we need a final conclusion issue. And, now we just barely got news about the Batman, Catwoman, Gotham War, where there is an Alpha issue, Omega issue, the issues with Catwoman and issues with Batman, and then probably an Omega issue, and then a conclusion, which just, I think I'm just going to get because I have a long run of, because I'm a collector, I have a long run of Batman, I will just get my Batman issues and read every single thing else on DC Infinite Universe app, because I have a couple of Teenie Howard's Catwoman, and I've listened to some complaints, and I was going to do a video and basically saying everybody is wrong. No, from what I've read, everybody's right. The writing is just not good. The Hulk annual #1. So I have all of the Hulk. I've not read it. This is the final conclusion that also transfers into Philip Kennedy Johnson's Immortal Hulk, not Immortal Hulk, the whatever Hulk. And this is also the conclusion, I think, of the just the Hulk run by Donny Cates and the artist Ryan Ottley. And yeah, maybe I should do a video of that too. I do own all of them. Fantastic Four issue #7, also Legacy #700. I'm getting ready to do also a review of the first trade paperback of Fantastic Four. I did in issue #1. I was going to do issue #2, and then I just decided, let's just wait. My channel's not going to explode into thousands of subscribers, and I'm not going to get monetized. At least I just don't. It could, and if it does, good for me. But I'm not banking on it, and I'm just doing this as a fun hobby, more or less. I'm doing this channel as a hobby, and also a way to kind of for myself expand my relationship with people who are into comics. Nobody in my direct family reads comics. My brother does, but he doesn't. And we don't really talk about them often. And I've tried to get some of my friends into them by giving them free stuff, and free for them, not for me. But they don't have anything to do with it. And so I'm kind of doing this channel just kind of because it's fun. I want to be creative, but also I do appreciate the people that, participate and join in the chat. It makes me, feel like less of a loner in this hobby form. I'm not lonely by any means, but Noctera. This is a fantastic series that I've thoroughly enjoyed reading by Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniels. I think that this is... I did not back the Kickstarter, and I'm glad didn't, because I've not been impressed with the Keanu Reeves Kickstarter, even though I've been buying every single issue. Like, the second trade paperback came out to the public before I got my one that I backed in the Kickstarter thing. So I'm now less creator-owned people, unless the concept and stuff is already done, because I feel as though I've been burned, am currently burned by some of the creator-owned stuff on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. There's one that is done by, I think, Booth and Lobdell that I think I just stopped getting information from, and supported that like almost 2 years ago, and that's probably never going to happen. Let's see. Wildcats. I had never, growing up, I know Wildcats were a thing. I never read a single issue of them. I read the first issue of Wildcats #1, and I had a fun time. I didn't know anything about it. I feel as though it kind of gave me a good door open to who the Wildcats were to some extent. And then again, life happened, and I am now 6 issues behind of Wildcats, but I had a fun time. This one right here, out of all of the Scott Snyder ones that were done for free on Comixology, Clear with Scott Snyder and Francis Manapul, that was my favorite one, and I just wanted to buy this to have in physical form, because as great as it is to read certain things on a tablet, I find that it is really interesting. I think I like the owning it, holding it, looking, flipping the actual pages. You can, take your fingers and kind of, expand the cell, shrink the cell, go in for further detail. You can't do that on paper. But again, there's something more about the art on paper compared to on a screen. Let's see. Something epic. I looked at some of the teaser pages of this, and at least the art looks very interesting. I'm excited to read this one. I do have this one in the standard cover, but I just like the Green Lantern, this Sinestro cover right here, where he's, in a city, in a kind of covered up with his jacket or whatnot. And then, of course, this one, where, again, I do appreciate everybody that commented, especially on this Titans video that I did. And you know what? I do think that I do owe at least certain things at least one trade before deeming crap or unreadable. And I do appreciate the conversations. I do appreciate people, going, hearing me out, and, we can agree to disagree. I feel as though that's more important than just, giving a thumbs down. And yeah. And then the last one, which is now I actually have a reading copy of Spider-Man issue number 7, the end of the Spider-Verse, finally, because of Bailey, the Spider Boy. Introduction to that basically made that comic worth so much money and made it unreadable in physical format, because I'm not going to take the risk of, I bought something that basically went up 300% from the time I purchased the issue. So yeah, that is my comic load right there. There are 40 comics, including the free one that I was not aware that was thrown in. So what out of all the things that I picked up, and this is beyond 30 minutes. So what did you like that I picked up? What are you scratching your head? Why would I own that? Your thoughts, suggestions. Is there anything I should pick up? I wonder where Strange was. Where was Doctor Strange? Anyway, that being said, thanks again for watching. I do appreciate it. And until next time, I will see you in the dollar section where these things, who knows? Maybe there's going to be a lot of Spider-Man number 7 in the dollar section because of the instant popularity. I need to do another Spider-Boy video. That one did surprisingly well. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, download, comment down below. Whatever your thoughts are. It is a massively long video, and I did a whole bunch of rambling. And yeah, thanks again. And until next time, I will see. Nope, that's not that's the podcast conclusion wrap up right there. All right, thanks again.